Welcome back to episode 6 of Script Supervisors. My name is Jaden Yee, and I am here with Bryan. This is the podcast where we talk about movies and shows and video games and other things like that.
Woo!
Yeah. Thank you for coming back to join us. So there will be time codes in the description if you want to jump around places. We got a lot of news today. Marvel, DC,
Yes.
Star Wars. We gotta talk about a few trailers. Haunted Mansion, Peter Pan and Wendy, the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Which looks amazing.
Yep. And Jedi Survivor. And then we're also gonna go through some Oscar winners. And then we'll talk about the main topic of the show, Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine
and
Bear.
Shazam, Fury of the Gods. So that'll be very interesting too. And then, of course, we'll have the watch list at the end, and also we're going to talk about a little bit about AMC Stubs, which I recently got, and I absolutely love. There are a few drawbacks.
I'm probably going to get it.
Yes. Okay, so we'll start with the news here. So we'll start off with Marvel news.
Marvel news.
Steven Yeun has joined the Thunderbolts movie.
Ooh, that's who?
It has, as of now, been unconfirmed, but all the leaks say that he's playing Sentry.
Sentry. Who's that?
He is a more modern character. I think he only showed up in, 2010 or 2011. He's very Superman-esque, except he's got this counterpart called the Void. And basically, if Sentry loses mental control of his mind, he turns into the Void. And the Void is just Sentry without any limits on, without holding back his power, and he just becomes this.
So it's a Jekyll Hyde situation.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's joined the Thunderbolts. There was a report that came out that Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the VFX were rushed on that, which makes a lot of sense. They were rushed because all the VFX workers were told to work on Black Panther: Wakanda Forever instead of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which I believe because those VFX workers are so overworked.
Yeah. It's kind of a problem in the industry.
Yeah. And that brings us to another piece of news. Victoria Alonso, one of the executive producers who has been with Marvel Studios since Iron Man in 2008, has exited Marvel Studios.
Okay.
And
any reason why?
They have not said why. The Hollywood Reporter, which broke the story, has not said why, but all of the leaks I've seen have been saying that it's because she has been overworking VFX workers.
I could believe it.
Yeah, I believe that too. But yeah, so she's gone now. She's been one of the three top heads. So it's been Kevin Feige, Victoria Alonso, and Louis Despacito, who's been who have been the executive producers on all of the Marvel projects. So she's gone, unfortunately, and I mean that's good news and bad news, I guess. If the thing about the VFX workers ends up being true, then it's a good thing she's gone.
Yeah.
However, she has been Marvel's main diversity person who has been pushing for diversity in the MCU, and she spoke out when Disney had that whole whether or not they were supporting the Don't Say Gay bill for Florida.
Okay.
Because she outwardly spoke against Disney because she herself is gay.
Oh.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But for other casting news, we have Jon Bernthal has been confirmed to return as the Punisher for Daredevil Born Again.
Oh my God! Yes,
Yeah.
he's so good.
Yep. And it has also been confirmed that, unfortunately, Eldon Henson and Deborah Ann Woll will not be returning as Karen Page and Foggy Nelson.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I know.
They
really
were
love them.
so good.
They were, and it's really sad that they're not returning because I would have loved to see their characters again. It's unclear whether or not they're being recasted.
Mm-hmm.
I also know that THR has just confirmed also that someone has been recasted to play Vanessa Fisk, who was in Daredevil, but she's not played by the same actor. But yeah, it's unclear whether or not they've recasted Karen Page and Foggy Nelson. But they have said that Jon Bernthal is returning.
Gotcha.
As Punisher, which I am so excited for.
I'm excited for that. I'm sad to not see Foggy.
Yeah, me too.
I love him so much.
Me too. Yeah. So we also have a bit of news about the MCU's first solo superhero, like original superhero that has been created specifically for the MCU. And I mean,
Okay.
like clearly there have been characters before, like Coulson, or all the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters who are like, they were MCU, they weren't from the comics originally. But this is like an actual superhero.
In later Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Quake, was that an existing character?
Yes, she was an existing character.
Okay.
Yes. Let me pull up the description for the character in the MCU that's being introduced. Her name is Kahori.
Kahori.
Yep, she is a Native American.
Awesome.
And she has Tesseract powers. The official description is Kahori is a young Mohawk woman who discovered the Tesseract that transformed a lake into a name that I can't pronounce, and I don't want to try pronouncing.
Let me try this. Odin no Sony. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that correctly either.
Yeah. Well, it transformed the
Sony.
lake into a gateway to the stars, leading her on a quest to discover her power. That was in the official statement released by Marvel.
And when they say Tesseract, do they mean like the Tesseract or?
Yeah, the Tesseract.
Okay.
The cube.
The cube.
Yep, the cube.
I'm
So
interested
she
to
will
see
yeah.
her story.
Yeah, so What If Season 2 will be released later this year, and it will feature Kahori.
Oh, she's in What If.
She is in What If. Yep.
Darn.
Yep. So that'll be later this year, and that'll be very interesting to see. Also, there was a Disney tech conference that Bob Iger, the new head of Disney, spoke at. He made an offhanded comment about Marvel superheroes getting third and fourth movies, and I can't help but feel like that was a backhanded comment towards Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, Thor: Love and Thunder was good, but
I liked it. A lot of
Yeah.
people didn't,
Yeah.
and it was very, very poorly received. So I couldn't help feel like that was a backhanded comment at Thor: Love and Thunder.
could be.
But that also like brings up the thing about the MCU not having like a clear direction right now, because we've already finished with Phase 4, and there was no like team up movie. If you think back to like Phase 1,
Yeah.
we knew who all the major players were. It was Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, and Captain America, and then you saw them all team up in the Avengers, and
Yeah.
you knew who the main characters were.
And we got Barton was in Thor, and I can't remember her name.
Natasha Romanoff.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Romanoff was in Iron Man 2.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Love
And
it.
but like now we have over like 15 projects with
so many characters.
The
so
only
many
character-
stories.
yeah, I think the only character who has appeared like more than twice has been Wong.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love Wong, by the way. I've loved everything that he was in. He was fantastic in She-Hulk and Doctor Strange and Spider-Man
Yeah.
and Shang-Chi. And I just love that he keeps appearing everywhere. He is absolutely a hilarious character.
I really love him. But you're right. They do seem really like sort of confused about where they're going with things. It doesn't seem to be like leading up to anything except maybe Kang.
Yeah. I mean, we know that is the end point, but it's as far as like how they're gonna get there, it's not very clear that they have a straight direction.
Yeah.
It's kind of they're like all over the place, and I understand like the need to introduce new characters, but there's also a need to get your story focused and streamlined so that you have one continuous plot.
Yeah. Or have multiple plots.
Yeah, multiple plots
You know,
that converge into one.
And they can take place in the same world, but like, you know, this group of people can be fighting this big bad, this group of people can be fighting that big bad.
Yeah.
And I think that would work better. I don't
Yeah,
know.
because there's really been no continuous through line yet. I mean, the only continuous through line we've had was the WandaVision Doctor Strange story, which
Yeah.
saw Wanda crossover. She had the whole Westview thing, and then she was with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And that's really the only through line we've had between projects. It's the plots haven't really crossed over at all. I mean, you've seen like tiny effects from other stories, but the plots haven't really connected yet.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem. So we'll see what happens with Phase 5, because it'll be connecting Miss Marvel and Monica Rambeau from WandaVision with Carol Danvers. And then we've got Guardians 3, which will continue
Which I'm psyched for.
the holiday special.
It looks so good.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Guardians 3. I cannot wait. Especially because, I mean, I love all these little animal characters. I love Rocket and Groot and Layla the otter and Cosmo the space dog.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing. I don't know what it is about animal characters, but I just really love them.
I just love characters that, like, look strikingly different than humans, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there are normal humans, there are green humans, there are pink humans, there are yellow humans in, like, the Guardians universe. Like, when they're on Xandar, there's basically just more people walking around, and they're just all different colors. I like seeing trees and raccoons, you know, and robots. Give me more robots, damn it.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see where Phase 5 goes with this. And Thunderbolts, I'm pretty sure, will be the end of Phase 5. So,
Gotcha.
And then we'll get Phase 6, which will be the end of the multiverse saga, probably.
Thank God.
Yeah, because I think that they need to get a hold of their stuff. But hopefully things should be picking up. I know that people weren't necessarily happy with Phase 4, but the Marvels is reportedly very good, and Guardians 3 will almost undoubtedly be very good.
Yeah, it just looks good already. It's like,
Yep.
I already have a positive opinion of it.
Yeah, Secret Invasion also will probably be very good, at least from what I can tell by the trailers. The Skrulls and Nick Fury and Talos, all of that will be very good, I think.
I can't wait to see more of it.
Yep, me too. All right, so we can move on to DC news now. The new video game, The Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, has been delayed.
It's new? I thought it came out a while ago.
No, it is new.
Oh.
Yep. And the release has been delayed reportedly because there were issues with their currency, because there were reportedly 7 different kinds of currency.
In the game?
In the game. 7 different kinds of currency.
Why?
I have no idea, but usually there's, from my experience, there are usually 2 forms of currency. There's like the common one that you pick up, and then there's like the premium currency. Like most
that you can
games,
like occasionally earn like 5 of.
Yeah, like most games will have like gems or diamonds that'll be like the previous.
I'm just thinking about Clash of Clans.
Clash of Clans. I remember when I played Clash of Clans.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh man, playing it on the school bus on the way home.
Yes. But yeah, so 7 different forms of currency is a lot. Also, I have no idea what they were thinking, only making 4 playable characters, and 3 out of the 4 are people who use guns.
Yeah.
Because the 4 playable characters are Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, and King Shark. Apparently, you cannot use the boomerangs if you play Captain Boomerang.
What? Why?
I don't know. It didn't make sense when I heard it, and it still doesn't make sense to me.
That's his whole thing. I don't know.
He carries a gun.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
There are way more interesting characters than Captain Boomerang.
Yeah. Especially when you have the Suicide Squad. After that new Suicide Squad movie came out, your options were like, you had a lot of more interesting options.
Give us Ratcatcher.
Yeah, Ratcatcher.
Give us Polka Dot Man. Damn it.
Polka Dot Man. Oh,
dude, he did such a good job.
He did.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So the
King Shark though, love King Shark.
Yes.
Hey,
there have been a few rumblings also about David Ayer's Suicide Squad.
David Ayer's?
Yeah,
Suicide
David
Squad?
Ayer was the original director for the for Suicide Squad. before a different director turned over. So there have been rumblings about him getting his own Suicide Squad cut, like the Snyder cut, but for the Suicide Squad, and it's David Ayer instead of Zack Snyder.
I'm interested.
Me too. Although I don't think it's going to happen because at this point it's just a rumor, and James Gunn seems like he has a very solid plan for where he needs to go.
Yeah, but like, I feel like the original Suicide Squad movie, it had so much going for it, but I think it was just handled really poorly, and I want to see what it could have become.
Yep. Yeah, me too. Unfortunately, it probably won't happen.
Yeah.
This next piece of news is James Gunn officially confirmed on Twitter that he will be directing Superman Legacy.
Nice.
So he said he's always wanted to do a Superman movie, and he was also kind of like forced to say that he was directing Superman because Tom King, one of the original Superman writers, who was brought in to consult on Superman Legacy, was on a podcast on YouTube called Comic Pop, and he like flat out said that James Gunn is directing.
He just spilled the beans.
Yeah, he's like, James Gunn will be directing Superman Legacy, and then the video got taken down.
Oh. And
apparently he wasn't supposed to say it. So James Gunn was kind of forced to come out and be like, yeah, I'm the one who's directing Superman Legacy.
Well, it'll probably be decent then, at absolute worst.
Yeah, although I wouldn't necessarily peg James Gunn as the Superman kind of guy. He's like I would assume like the Band of Misfits kind of guy, like with Guardians and the Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but I mean, if he can make a good Superman movie, then I will be very excited to watch it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Apparently, Tom Cruise asked for. He contacted David Zaslav and asked for a copy of The Flash. So, like, to watch.
Okay.
So, someone from WB delivered the film to his house, and he stayed while Tom Cruise was watching it, and then took the DVD and went back with it. But apparently, Tom Cruise is absolutely fanatic about this movie. He loves it. He thinks it is amazing and everything that you could want in a superhero movie. So, Tom Cruise is excited about this, apparently.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, me too.
It looks really goofy from the trailers, but that's what I want from a superhero movie.
Yeah, so I'm excited for The Flash. And, I mean, Tom Cruise likes it. David Zaslav likes it. James Gunn likes it.
Yeah.
He said that The Flash was going to be an amazing movie, something he did not say about Shazam, which we'll talk about.
I mean, Shazam was pretty good.
Yeah, I think I ended up liking it a lot more than people did. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, anyway. And Ben Affleck came out and said that he will not direct a movie under James Gunn for DC. He's wanted to direct a movie for a long time, but he said he has no problem with James Gunn. He just doesn't want to direct a movie under James Gunn. He said he has no quarrel with James Gunn. He doesn't think he's a bad guy or whatever. He loves James. He just doesn't want to direct a movie for James Gunn.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that. You just, don't want to work with the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And this last bit of DC news is Zack Snyder posted a tweet that said, incoming transmission from Lord Darkseid, with the dates April 28th through April 30th on it. And it also had the acronyms MOS, BVS, and ZSJL, which are the acronyms for Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Zack Snyder's Justice League.
So it's a follow-up to that?
We have no idea what it is.
Okay.
He just posted something that said incoming transmission from Lord Darkseid, the dates, and then the acronyms for the movies. So I don't know if this is a continuation or the release of a comic or a big announcement. We're not sure what it is.
I guess we'll learn in April.
I guess we'll learn in April when this happens. But I don't know. This has me interested as to what's going on because there have been rumblings about him selling the Snyderverse to Netflix.
Oh,
So,
wacky.
yeah. So we will get to see what happens there. But yeah, so Zack Snyder is an interesting man, and we will see what happens. Okay, we can move on to the one piece of Star Wars news that we have.
Ooh, Star Wars.
It looks like Patty Jenkins and Kevin Feige's Star Wars projects are not in active development right now.
Okay, what were those again?
They were just unnamed projects.
Oh.
Well, Kevin Feige's was an unnamed project. Patty Jenkins was directing the Rogue Squadron movie.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
She said it was supposed to be the greatest dogfight movie in, I think she said, in history. Which, I mean, I would absolutely love a movie about dogfighting Star Wars characters.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess it's not in active development, so oh well. But Taika Waititi's Star Wars project is still in development.
Love to hear it.
Yep.
He is fantastic.
Yeah,
I've
so-
loved everything he's directed.
Yeah, me too.
Even the stuff that other people like hate. It's like, no, that's good. Shut up.
Yeah, so unfortunately for Patty Jenkins and Kevin Feige, their Star Wars projects are apparently not in development. Yeah, so now we just have a bit of miscellaneous news before we talk about the Oscars. So the Lord of the Rings series has, or the Lord of the Rings put out a press release, or there was a press release about the Lord of the Rings.
Sorry, I'm adjusting my chair here.
No, it's all good. Yeah, so there was a press release about the Lord of the Rings, and apparently they're going to make a lot more projects in collaboration with Amazon
Okay.
after the Rings of Power. So they're trying to expand it more like the Harry Potter series, which
Just tell like more side stories.
more side stories, more, I guess, core stories. I don't know where you would go with that though, because I mean the source material is not there anymore.
It's very limited, yeah.
But I guess they're
like
gonna be
whatever they can pull out of the Silmarillion.
Yeah, so they're gonna be releasing more Star Wars projects, I guess. There was a brief legal discrepancy over South Park. So WB was suing Paramount for some streaming licensing rights that apparently they didn't have, but who knew? So, the legal action reminds me of a piece of Marvel news that I didn't talk about. I skipped over it for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway.
That's the best of us.
Yeah. Apparently, Marvel Studios has taken legal action against Reddit. Or
like-
specifically the Marvel Studios spoiler subreddit. Because someone leaked the script, the entire script to Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania,
Okay.
and posted it on Marvel Studios subreddit. So Marvel Studios has issued a copyright takedown. It was taken down. But now they are currently tracking the script back to its source.
They're tracking the person down?
Yeah, they're going to try and track the person down and sue them.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So don't mess with Marvel Studios or Papa Feige will cap you in the head with a sniper rifle.
Cap you in the head with a sniper rifle.
If you're listening, Kevin Feige, please don't cap me in the head with a sniper rifle. I don't mean that. You're a very nice person, I'm sure, but Marvel Studios is...
I get where they're coming from, but also, like, if someone wants spoilers, they should be able to go get spoilers. And, like, I get that it's intellectual property infringement, and that's, like, not great. But also, I think, like, going after someone and suing them is a little too far.
Yeah. I'm also not clear on the timeline about this, like how much before the movie actually came out was the script posted. I think it was a couple of months, but I'm not completely sure. So they are apparently tracking down someone who has posted the Ant-Man script. So rip to whoever you are. I'm sure you're a 30-year-old man living in your mother's basement. But
Damn! Roasting!
if you're listening to this guy who posted the script of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, you should not have messed with Marvel Studios. So, too bad for you. Anyway, we can go back to the miscellaneous news. Phineas and Ferb was renewed for 40 more episodes, says Entertainment Weekly.
Wait, have they been making episodes this whole time?
No. It ended a while back, but it's revived. Sorry, for
getting
40 new episodes. Yep.
Another season or two?
Yes.
Damn.
And I'm not sure if it's 2 seasons with 20 episodes or 1 season with 40 episodes. But
4 seasons with 10 episodes.
Yeah. But the original creator, the guy who voices Doofenshmirtz in the show, is returning to come back as creator, so that should be very interesting, and I've always loved Phineas and Ferb.
That's fantastic. I've seen him on TikTok. He actually has a TikTok, and he's relatively active on it.
Oh, really?
He's really funny.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's amazing. I love Perry the Platypus. He's one of my favorite characters.
Dude, I have a friend who can make a perfect Perry the Platypus noise.
Really?
The ark, 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 ark. He can just do it, and I have no idea how.
Yeah, I would.
Why are there people outside?
That's a very good question.
Oh, hey. I think that's the guy I'm supposed to talk to about getting trained. Whatever.
Anyway.
I'll do it later.
Yeah, Phineas and Ferb renewed. That's
Woo.
great. Bryan Cog, a writer for Game of Thrones, has been tapped to write the Zorro remake on Disney+. So,
Okay.
very interesting. Yes, and the next bit of news we have is the fact that Ant-Man was the #1 movie in the world, and then a week later it passed to Creed, and then a week later it passed to Scream 6.
Nice.
Yeah. So the #1 movie in the world, apparently, I guess, passed from Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania to Creed 3 to Scream 6. So.
Is it popularity or box office sales or what?
I believe it is. Some sort of rating system. It's like Rotten Tomatoes and other rating systems like that. But
Gotcha.
I'm not sure exactly how that's measured. That's actually a very good question, and now I'm kind of curious to look it up. I'll look it up later. Anyway, yes, Lance Reddick died.
Yeah, I heard.
Yep, he
Oh my
was very
gosh.
famous for his role in The Wire.
And John Wick, right?
And John Wick, yep.
Yes.
He's in John Wick also.
Oh, man.
So yeah, poor Lance Reddick.
I actually heard about this because apparently he was actually playing the, Destiny 2 the night that he died, and so a bunch of players of that game held a sort of vigil for him, which is awesome and very cool of gamers to do, honoring someone who enjoyed your thing.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so the final bit of news that we have before we talk about the Oscars is Quentin Tarantino has announced his 10th and final film. He said a while back that he was only going to direct 10 films. And I suppose technically this is his 11th film, because he has said that he considers Kill Bill and Kill Bill Volume 2 one film.
Okay.
So he's announced his 10th and final film, which is called The Movie Critic. It is about a female-led movie critic in old Hollywood. So it is a love letter to Hollywood. It takes place in Los Angeles. So yeah, Quentin Tarantino is directing his last film.
He's only directed 10 movies?
Yeah.
That's wild. I thought he was I know that he's a huge director. I thought he made lots of stuff.
No, he's made 10 things, and
they're all fantastic.
They're all fantastic and amazing. He's an amazing director, yeah. Also, I just...
He really likes slurs.
Yes. I find it funny that he's only directing 10 films, because he's like, nope, I don't care if any studio pays me. I'm only directing 10, and that's
Honestly,
going to be my project.
I respect it. Sticking to your guns and just being no, this is what I'm doing. You cannot pay me enough money to not do this.
I would also love to see him... I wouldn't love it, but I think it would be really funny to see him direct, a pop culture movie like a Star Wars or a DC or a Marvel movie, just to like see what Quentin Tarantino would do that. But he hates Marvel, so
Yeah.
he hates Disney more accurately, because when the Hateful Eight was coming out, there was this like one specific theater that he wanted it to play at because they had like a certain type of projector, which is what the film was meant to be seen on, but that was at the same time that The Force Awakens came out, and Disney wanted to extend the theatrical release. So the theater was originally like, we're not going to do that because we're going to screen Quentin Tarantino's Hateful Eight. And Disney's like, do you want us to never send you another movie again? And the theater was like, here you go.
I hate that. You know what? I'm with Mr. Tarantino on this one.
Yeah.
That's messed up. That's not cool.
I agree. It is messed up. But yeah, so I'm excited to see what this final movie will look like. I have loved most of Quentin Tarantino's, and I say most because I haven't seen all of his movies, so I cannot accurately judge them. But I've heard that they are all amazing. So,
Yeah.
can't wait.
Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, Django Unchained.
Yep.
All fantastic.
Yep. Yeah. So now we can go into talking about the Oscars. The first thing I want to mention here is Everything Everywhere All at Once won 7 Oscars.
I know. It's sick.
Yep. And Michelle Yeoh was I think the first Asian woman to ever win Best Actress in a Supporting Role.
Yeah.
Or a leading role, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was amazing. Congratulations to Michelle Yeoh. And I actually did see Everything Everywhere All at Once a couple of days ago. And it was
I saw it like a year
so
ago.
amazing. I really loved that movie.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
just amazing.
genuinely fantastic.
Yeah. And she absolutely deserves that. And I think that Everything Everywhere All at Once deserved all of the Oscars it got, except for one. And I'll talk about that when I list the Oscars winners. So I'm just going to go through and list all of the winners for the Oscars. If I think it's important, I'll talk about some of the nominees. So for Best Actor in a Leading Role, Brendan Fraser won it for his role in The Whale,
Okay.
which was very interesting. Austin Butler was nominated for Best Actor as well in Elvis. So yeah. And then Best Actor in a Supporting Role, Ki Hai Kwan won it for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Good stuff.
Which he absolutely deserves.
He killed it. He was amazing.
Yes, I agree. I really loved his performance. Best Actress in a Leading Role, Michelle Yeoh, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I really think that Angela Bassett should have won for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I do think that her performance was better.
I disagree.
Or, sorry, no. I have the wrong category.
Oh, wait, what?
I'm dumb. Yeah, she was for the supporting role.
Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh won it for Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I agree with, and I said that up front. I don't know why I got the categories mixed up.
We're both getting mixed up
Yep.
here.
So
My eyes aren't good
yeah.
enough to read your screen.
Best Actress in a Supporting Role. That is the one that I think Angela Bassett should have won, because the actual winner who won for that one was also from Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was Jamie Lee Curtis's character. She was Deirdre, the tax lady.
Yeah, right.
I think that Angela Bassett's performance was a lot more emotional, especially since Jamie Lee Curtis's character in Everything Everywhere All at Once is more of just a side character, and she doesn't really get a lot of emotional story. Whereas Ramonda in
I mean, she does. Isn't there like a timeline where she and the main character like marry or something?
yeah, she and Michelle Yeoh are in. I don't know if they're married, but they're definitely in a relationship.
Yeah.
It's the universe where
Everyone has sausage fingers.
Yeah, everyone has sausage fingers.
God, I love
But
that movie.
that universe wasn't even shown for very long ago.
Yeah.
It was just a few clips of them. So I do think that Angela Bassett should have won for Best Actress in a Supporting Role.
I don't know.
I think that. Definitely over Jamie Lee Curtis. I haven't seen the other.
What's the other one?
Hong Chow was nominated from The Whale, and Carrie Condon was nominated from a movie called The Banshees of Inisherin. which is a movie that apparently was very popular because it's on this list a few times, but I haven't seen. Yeah. Anyway, I do think that Angela Bassett should have won for Best Actress in a Supporting Role. Anyway, Best Animated Feature Film. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio won.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it, but apparently it was very good. There were actually 2 Pinocchio movies released last year. It was Guillermo del Toro's, and then the one on Disney Plus. The one on Disney Plus absolutely sucked.
That's what messed me up. Is that I saw trailers for the Disney Plus one, and I thought, wow, this looks like hot garbage. And then I heard about I'm really bad with names. Guillermo del Toro's one and how good it was, and I was like, there's no way that those are the same movie. And so then I learned, there's 2 Pinocchio movies in 1 year.
Yep.
Why? Who made that decision?
Yeah. The other nominees for this were Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, which was apparently very good. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which I did see and was absolutely fantastic.
I've heard it's amazing.
Yep. This is the only one I haven't heard of. It's called The Sea Beast. I haven't heard of that one.
Sea Beast.
Yeah. But then the last one that was nominated was Turning Red, which was that Pixar movie that came out at the beginning of the year. I saw that, and especially as someone who is Asian and grew up with Asian parents, that is a very accurate representation, and that would have been me if I played the flute, was female, and lived in Canada.
What a sentence. That would have been me if I played the flute, was female, and lived in Canada.
But I wasn't. I played the viola, I lived in Washington, and I'm a male. So
yeah.
And also I don't wear glasses. If I was all of those things, it would have been my life. I felt very connected to it. I liked it a lot more than a lot of people did. But I don't know that I would have picked it for an Oscar winner. I think out of all these options, I would have picked Puss in Boots.
Yeah, I probably would have picked Puss in Boots too.
Because it was absolutely fantastic.
I haven't seen any of them, but I would have picked Puss in Boots.
Yeah. Okay.
Give the Shrek universe some more clout.
Yes. Shrek 5. If they're going to make it.
Oh my god.
I want a Shrek 5. It's heavily implied that they're going to continue Shrek at the end of Puss in Boots.
Why?
So, yeah, because he's like... what's her name? Kitty Softpaws. Because they're on a pirate ship and Kitty Softpaws turns to Puss and she goes, "Where are you going?" And then he stands at the bow of the ship with Perito, the dog. And he goes, "To see some old friends," and then the camera zooms out and it says "Far, far away land."
Yeah.
So it's heavily implied that he's gonna go see Shrek.
I still think it's so funny that the death wolf guy is in the same universe as Shrek.
Yeah. I absolutely love Puss in Boots, and I think I would have picked it for Best Animated Feature Film. Anyway. Best Cinematography was awarded to James Friend for his work on All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yeah, I heard that was really good.
I heard it was really good too, and I have it on my watch list to watch at some point. All Quiet on the Western Front was nominated a few times, and I think it actually won one more category, but I forgot what it was. Anyway, Best Costume Design was awarded to Ruth Carter for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Understandable. The costumes in that were insane. They were great.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
I only have one gripe with it, but it doesn't matter, so I'm not going to say it. But yeah, they were amazing.
I think she was very amazing too, and she was interviewed for the assembled episode, The Making of Black Panther, and I got to see all the things that she had behind the scenes and all the work that she did with the tribes from Nigeria and Mexico, and the learning of designs and the incorporating it into the costumes. Oh, it's just absolutely amazing. So Best Directing was awarded to Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinhardt for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Was another
Who
winner.
would have guessed?
Yep. Best Documentary Feature Film was awarded to Navalny, Not sure what that's about because I haven't seen any of these documentary movies, but apparently they were the winners. For documentary short film, it was awarded to The Elephant Whisperers.
Mm-hmm.
So that was very interesting. Best film editing was awarded to Paul Rogers for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
No way. Dude, the editing in that movie is crazy.
Yeah.
All the moments where it's like flipping between 80 different things a second.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I agree. And after seeing that movie, I totally think that Paul Rogers definitely deserves an Oscar for this. So, absolutely amazing. Best international feature film was from Germany, All Quiet on the Western Front.
No way.
Yep. Best makeup and hairstyling was awarded to the crew of The Whale, which The Whale was apparently very good. I haven't seen The Whale, but I fully intend on seeing it at some point. Yeah. Also nominated for Best Makeup and Hairstyling was the crew of The Batman, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and Elvis, and also All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yeah.
So those were the other.
understandable.
Yeah, those were the other nominees for makeup and hairstyling. I really appreciated the makeup and hairstyling in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, especially since I learned that Michael B. Jordan's hairstyle was formatted so that the top of his hair looked like Ramonda's headdress. So that when you first see Shuri go into the ancestral plane and you see him sitting facing the other direction, you see it and you think, oh, that's Ramonda's headdress, but you turn around and it's actually Michael B. Jordan.
Right,
and I really
yeah.
appreciated that. Yeah. And
That's it. I love details like that.
yep. Also, I really appreciated Colin Farrell's makeup in The Batman.
Mm-hmm.
For the Penguin. He looked absolutely disgusting and
Yes.
completely like the Penguin, and I loved it. Yeah. So for Best Music for the original score, was awarded to Volker Biederman for All Quiet on the Western Front. Yeah.
Understandable.
Yep. Everything Everywhere All at Once was also nominated for this, and so was Babylon and the Fabelmans, which was scored by John Williams.
Oh.
So yeah, for best music for an original song, the song "Natu Natu" from RRR was the winner for this one, and one of the nominees was, I believe, "Lift Me Up" from Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. And I will talk a little bit more about this in the watch list because there was a documentary made for the music of Wakanda Forever. But Lift Me Up is a fantastic song, as most of the songs from Black Panther are.
Yeah.
And especially when you listen to the lyrics and stuff like that, it's just absolutely amazing. I think Rihanna did an amazing job singing that song. But yeah. And also This Is a Life from Everything Everywhere All at Once was also nominated for this award. Yeah. Best Picture. The nominees were All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, The Fabelmans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking. And the winner was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Woo!
Yep. This is the only category in which Avatar: The Way of Water was nominated for one. I saw it. I thought it was pretty good. Although I think it should have been nominated for visual effects. Actually, I think it was nominated for visual effects.
You want to go back and check?
Sure.
Oh,
Visual
it's
effects.
down.
Yeah, it's down. Yep. It was nominated for visual effects. Okay, I was wrong. Yes, it was nominated. It didn't win, though. Although I think it was absolutely amazing. And I do think that Everything Everywhere All at Once was a fantastic film. And I do think that it did deserve Best Picture, honestly. Best Production Design went to All Quiet on the Western Front. And that crew. So, yeah. The best short film, best animated short film, went to The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the House, which I haven't seen. The best short film live action was, the winner was An Irish Goodbye, which I actually did hear about and was apparently very amazing.
Mm-hmm.
For best sound, the winner was Top Gun Maverick and the crew for that.
All right.
Yeah. For Best Visual Effects, I was wrong again. Avatar: The Way of Water did win Best Visual Effects.
Dude.
I wrote the...
You wrote the document.
I wrote the document. I read all of these. I don't know why I didn't remember that Avatar: The Way of Water won Best Visual Effects, but I thought it was Everything Everywhere All at Once. But I guess I was wrong.
I think Everywhere All at Once should have won.
I think that...
They also had some really good practical effects.
That is true. I do think that Avatar: The Way of Water did deserve this award, though. And I thought it was amazing. The other nominees for this category were All Quiet on the Western Front, The Batman, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and Top Gun: Maverick.
Gotcha.
So Everything Everywhere All at Once actually wasn't nominated for this category.
Damn.
But I have seen all the movies with the exception of All Quiet on the Western Front. And I do think that all of those categories definitely deserve the nomination. Best Writing for an Adapted Screenplay was Women Talking. I haven't seen that movie, but apparently it is very good. The other nominees for this category were All Quiet on the Western Front, Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery, Living...
Glass Onion is so good.
Yep, and Top Gun: Maverick. I haven't seen Women Talking, but I probably am going to add that to my watch list. And the last category for Best Writing for an Original Screenplay, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Which it does deserve. I will say that it does deserve that. Steven Spielberg was nominated for this category for his work in The Fabelmans, which I haven't seen, but I am going to see at some point because I love Steven Spielberg, and anytime he makes a movie, especially with John Williams, it's going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that is it for the Oscars, and we can move on to our trailers.
I want to complain about something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, I might be wrong about this. Did Bullet Train come out in 2022?
Yes.
Okay. I think Bullet Train should have been nominated for something.
Bullet Train was a very good movie. I did see that.
Really like Bullet Train. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times. It is quite good. And I'm disappointed that it didn't get anything.
I would say that I would nominate it for either... I would nominate either Aaron Taylor Johnson or Brian Tyree Henry for Best Actor in a Supporting Role for their characters Lemon and Tangerine.
Yes. Yeah, they knocked it out of the park.
They did, yeah. And I would say probably you could also nominate it for Best Adapted Screenplay because it is adapted from a book. Yeah. So, yeah, I would say that it could easily have been nominated for the adapted screenplay. But yeah, I did really enjoy Bullet Train, and I think I am going to read the book at some point.
I'm not. I don't got the time.
Okay. Anyway, we can talk about the trailers now.
Trailers! Woo!
Yep. We'll kick it off with Haunted Mansion.
They looked really good.
It did look good.
It looked good.
It did. Ghost Bride, very scary.
Yes.
Also, I am a little more freaked out about Haunted Mansion than most people because when I went to Disney World, I did go on the Haunted Mansion ride, and it broke down while I was backwards.
Oh, no.
It broke down while I was backwards, and I was like, this is it.
I didn't realize it was based on a ride.
I personally do not know if it's based on the ride or if the ride was based... Because I'm pretty sure there was a older Haunted Mansion movie. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure if it was based on that movie or if the movie was based on the ride. I'm not sure which came out first. But there is a ride at Disney World that is for the Haunted Mansion. And I was stuck backwards on the ride while the ride was broken.
That's terrible. I'm so sorry for you.
A few rides broke down while we were there. It was that one... which other one was it? There was one other one, and then there was the Lightyear, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger game, the one where you shoot all the things. Which, by the way, I beat the ride because I broke the scoreboard. I got
How did okay?
Because I got 9,999. Wait, 199. Wait.
Are you having?
Hold on.
Are you okay?
Hold on. Numbers. 999,999 points.
Okay.
So that broke the scoreboard, and I absolutely won the game, and I'm so proud of myself. I'm officially a Galactic Space Ranger.
No, wait, you're like certified and everything?
I'm like certified. I got a little sticker and everything, which fell off almost immediately because Florida's like 100 degrees.
Yeah.
So the adhesive melted. But yes, I did beat the game twice. Twice. And I was super proud of myself.
Anyway, Haunted Mansion.
But yes, Haunted Mansion.
One thing I really loved about the trailer, in pretty much every horror movie, people complain about it and they go, yeah, you know, white people will see like blood on the walls and not leave immediately. And so to have not white people in a horrific house and go, we're leaving now, it was amazing. I love that so much.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it's nice to have actually smart people in horror movies.
Yeah. Owen Wilson looks great. Rosario Dawson looks great.
It looks really good in general.
Yeah, it does. And I love Owen Wilson's top hat for some reason.
Yes.
It's just, I love his top hat. Yeah, looks really good. I'm excited for it. Yeah. Wow. Owen Wilson, if you're listening to this, we love you.
We do love you.
You're a great actor. Yeah, so the next trailer we'll talk about is Peter Pan and Wendy. This was an interesting one because Peter Pan has had a lot of different adaptations.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm necessarily the biggest fan of Captain Hook's look in this trailer.
He does look a little crusty.
Yeah. I don't know that I like his look. I don't know that I like Peter Pan's look either because he looks like Robin Hood has been fortified with plants. That's the best way I can describe him.
Robin Hood, but he drinks Orgain.
Yeah. Robin Hood, but he's a vegetarian.
Yeah.
So that's what Peter Pan looks like.
I'm not a fan of the costume design in general.
Yeah.
Like the Wendy and the other kids, their outfits were kind of bland, and I guess that makes sense because they're from England.
Mm-hmm.
But the Lost Boys were very planty, but also like, how do you have green leaves on your clothing for longer than like a couple days? Because then the leaves will just die unless you're literally wearing the plant.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't like it that much. It could be really good, but I'm probably not going to go see it.
Yeah, it's on Disney. It's a Disney Plus thing.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's going to be released on Disney Plus.
Well, I'm probably not going to watch it.
Yeah. The one thing I did like about that trailer, though, was Yara Shahidi's Tinkerbell. I really liked her design, and I think she
I do think she looked pretty good. I think her outfit could have been better. I'm just really critical of fashion today. I don't know. Yeah. But, yeah, I think she looked great.
Yep. The next trailer we'll talk about is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
Do not get me started. I'm so happy. I'm so psyched for this.
This animation style I really enjoy.
Yes.
I really like this animation style. It reminds me a lot of Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse.
Reminds me of Arcane.
Yes, and thankfully we don't get the gross-looking live-action Ninja Turtles.
Okay. I love the TMNT. I love the gross-looking live-action turtles. I think
Really?
They look horrific, and I love it.
Okay, interesting.
But I'm also super psyched to see this like hyper-stylized comic book-esque drawing style. I love it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm really loving the like super stylized stuff that has been coming out recently, you know, with Spider-Verse. God.
Yeah.
With Spider-Verse and Arcane and now this, I love that America is finding a actual style.
Mm-hmm. And I really enjoy specifically the design of the turtles because the turtles look like teenagers. They look like someone that you would walk into a high school and
they sound like teenagers.
They sound like teenagers too. And I really appreciate that. I mean, it's in the title. Teenage.
Yeah, teenage.
Ninja Turtles.
Donnie sounds like he's like 11. Yeah. I mean 13. Sorry. I thought 12 and then I went, no, pick an odd one. And I went the wrong direction. No, he sounds like 13 or something.
Yeah.
And his voice is a little screechy and oh man.
Yeah. So
I can't wait.
I am excited for this movie, and also it's got cast members like Hannibal Buress and Jackie Chan
Yes.
and John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be a very, very good, very interesting movie to watch. So I'm very excited about that.
Me too. Ooze.
Yep. Ooze. I did like that part of the trailer.
Rolls off the tongue. Ooze.
Ooze. So they're also just saying ooze.
Ooze.
Like it reminded me of that thing that people think about sometimes, which is how much can you say a word before it doesn't become a word anymore?
Before it doesn't mean anything.
Before it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Ooze, ooze,
Yeah.
ooze.
My girlfriend did that with the word watermelon. I did that with the word help.
Help.
I just kept saying help so many times that eventually it didn't sound like a word. Like,
Chanting the word help.
Who put these 4 letters together and created the word help? Help.
Help.
Yeah. So, yes, I love that part about those. The last trailer we'll talk about is the video game trailer for Jedi Survivor.
Yes.
This looks like a really good trailer. I love the graphics. I love the storyline. It obviously follows Cal Kestis.
Mm-hmm.
I think this game looks great. I gotta play Fallen Order first before I play Survivor. So I'm gonna try and get Fallen Order and play it over the summer.
I just keep getting more and more behind on Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm gonna catch up at this point. I still haven't seen episode 9.
Oh, The Rise of Skywalker?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, so this game should be interesting. We got a couple of B-1 battle droids that were in there, so that was interesting. There was, obviously Stormtroopers, TIE Fighters, Scout Troopers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looks really interesting. And I'm excited for it. Yeah. So next we can...
One thing. I sprung a trailer on Jaden.
Oh, yes! I didn't have it written down, that's why. Yeah. So we have... the other trailer we took a look at was How to Blow Up a Pipeline. Marcus Schreiber is in this. I love him. He's a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like a very interesting movie, and
Yes.
we are going to go see it. The release date, I believe, is April 7th?
April 7th.
April 7th. So we are going to go see that together and talk about it next month. But yeah, it does look like a very interesting movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's adapted from a book. It's very anti-capitalist, anti-imperialist from the trailer.
Yeah.
The dialogue sounds pretty witty. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like
I'm going to have so much to say about it when I see it.
Yeah, it looks like a thriller. It is a thriller. I think the trailer is stylized more like a horror movie, but it definitely seems like more of a thriller.
Well, there are cops in it. That's horrific.
Yeah, but yeah, so we're gonna see that next month. Yeah, so we can talk about. I just want to briefly talk about Creed 3, Scream 6, and 65. Yeah. So for Creed 3, we'll start it off with Creed 3. There's a reason Sylvester Stallone wasn't in this movie. It's because he hates one of the producers with a fiery passion.
Understandable.
Yeah. So
respectable.
He said if the producer was going to be in this movie, he didn't want to be in it. So that's the reason Sylvester Stallone wasn't in Creed 3. This movie had a budget of $75 million, and it had a domestic opening weekend of $58.3 million.
Okay.
And the last time I checked the box office numbers a few days ago, it had made $116.6 million. Yeah.
You love to see it.
Yeah, so that one did really well. Scream 6, which I did end up seeing, and I will talk about just briefly, had a budget of $35 million and had a domestic opening weekend of $44.4 million for its opening weekend.
That's good.
Yeah, it is good. It surpassed
stuff.
its budget, which is very nice.
Yeah, on opening weekend.
Yeah. So last time I checked, it had a total box office of $63.7 million, which is pretty good for a movie that cost $35 million to make.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did really enjoy this. I ended up seeing all 6 Scream movies within the same week.
I don't understand how you do it.
Yeah, so I loved it, and I would say that these Scream movies are more thriller than actual horror, because I would say that the blood in the Scream movies is kept to a minimum. it's still there so that you can appreciate the blood. And the thing I also liked about the Scream movies is the jump scares are used correctly. They're scattered throughout. They're not like, it's not a jump scare every 5 minutes. They're effective and they work. And I also like the concept that in the Scream movies, there are always two ghost faces with the exception of the third. There are always two ghost faces. So it's basically a big whodunit. And even if you think you know who it is, you don't. Because the movie always finds a way for you to have every reason to think someone's innocent and every reason to think someone is guilty. And I think that Scream 6 did this very well.
The audience can't see, but I'm nodding my head a lot.
Yeah. Scream 6 was marketed as being a more brutal Ghostface, which is completely true because, at least I would say it's completely true. Because in the previous movies, Ghostface would always attack in your house or like blend in with a crowd, like if there were a whole bunch of other Ghostfaces. But this Ghostface just chased two of them into a convenience store and just murdered everybody inside the convenience store. That's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer.
Yeah, it is.
But he just chases them into a convenience store and just blasts away like three guys. He just doesn't care.
Can I swear? I forget.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's fine. But yeah, so it was, I think for the most part, it is true that this is a more brutal Ghostface. And I will not tell you who the killer is because you should go see Scream 6.
You should go see Ghostface.
Yes.
You should meet him in real life.
Yeah.
You should die.
I will say this. I found the post-credit scene very hilarious. So there is a post-credit scene at the end.
Why does everything have post-credit scenes? Ah.
You would appreciate this too.
We're going to talk about post-credit scenes later.
Okay. Yes.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about. But yeah, so go see Scream 6. Definitely recommend it. Okay, last thing, the movie 65 with Adam Driver released.
Is it good?
This, I have heard not so great things about this movie.
Yeah.
And the budget for this movie was $91 million.
Okay.
It had a domestic opening weekend of only $12.3 million.
Oh.
And the last time I checked, it was only up to $18.2 million.
Yeah.
So
their advertising really sucked.
Yes, and from what I've heard, it's not very good. And this is just a terrible, terrible box office numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's really tough.
Yeah, it is really tough. And poor Adam Driver, because Adam Driver is a fantastic actor.
He's great.
It doesn't look well for 65. Okay. Now we can move on to the main topic of the show. Woo. Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear!
We'll kick it off with Cocaine Bear, and then we'll go to Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Yeah. So Cocaine Bear had a budget of $35 million.
Okay.
It had a domestic opening weekend of $23.2 million.
Okay, decent.
Yep. And the last time I checked, the total box office number for Cocaine Bear is $55.7 million.
Good
so
stuff.
It has almost doubled its box office numbers.
And rightly so, because it's fantastic.
Yes. So what did you think?
I had no intention of seeing Cocaine Bear. I was like thinking to myself, I was like, yeah, that sounds funny. I'm probably not going to go see it. And then some of my friends were like, hey, Bren, do you want to come with us and see Cocaine Bear? And I said, yes, I do want to do that. And so I went and saw it, and it was amazing. And then I told Jaden about it.
Yeah. And then I did go to see Cocaine Bear, and I thought Cocaine Bear was pretty good. And for a movie called Cocaine Bear, I did not think that this was going to be that great of a movie, but it actually ended up being quite a better movie than I thought it would be, which I really appreciated. I loved the beginning where it opens like on a forest, and then you see that thing at the top that says, I forgot what it says, but it says something about like fighting back bears, and it says source Wikipedia.
Oh yes! Oh my God, that was I loved that little bit.
Yeah, that was very funny.
That was like one of the times, and there were a lot of these times where like the entire theater was laughing, and You love to see it. You love to see stuff that, like, a joke and it just hits home and everyone's having a good time, and good at Cocaine Bear.
I thought the opening scene, the actual opening scene, was very funny. Where the guy was in the plane and he's just throwing out bags of cocaine, and then he opens one, takes a little bit of cocaine, and starts throwing more bags out.
Yeah.
I thought that was very hilarious. I thought it was very good editing technique to intersperse like actual news footage of the real event.
Yes.
With the opening of the movie, because Cocaine Bear is based on true events. It is what happened when a bear ate cocaine, except in real life, the cocaine bear overdosed and died almost immediately.
Yeah.
But this is what if the bear didn't die?
What if the bear didn't die?
What if the bear didn't die?
What if the bear only had a little cocaine at a time?
Yeah. So I thought this was very hilarious, especially anytime that you see the bear take cocaine, because his snout is just covered in white powder. Oh yes, her, because she is a mother.
Yeah.
Anytime you see her snout covered in white powder, it's just absolutely amazing and very funny to me. I also love how half of the people in this movie are high.
Yes.
One point or another.
Like,
the kids are high.
the kids accidentally, they eat it.
Yeah. They
That's
eat
not a
the
spoiler.
cocaine.
It happens in, like, the first 10 minutes of the movie.
So, yeah, the kids are high on cocaine. That nature lover guy is high on cocaine.
Yep.
Half the people in this movie are high on cocaine.
Everyone gets high on cocaine.
Yep. I loved O'Shea Jackson Jr. And Alden Ehrenreich. They're a very fun pair, in my opinion. The two kids were pretty good as well. I mean, normally child actors aren't that great, but I thought they were pretty good.
For child actors, they knocked it out of the
Yeah,
park.
for child actors, they did really well. Also, Alden Ehrenreich was just amazing, because he's just, like, completely done throughout this entire movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see him in more things. Alden Ehrenreich, I feel like, got a bad rap because of Solo, but I actually think he did a great job, with what he was given. So, yeah, I love the casting of this movie. The guy who plays Sid White, I think, is really good. I thought the Ranger was very funny. The Ranger and
Oh my god, the Ranger.
Yep, the park ranger. I thought the cop was very funny.
Dude.
Yeah. So I thought everybody in this movie was hilarious. The design of the bear too, I thought was pretty good. Especially since it's like a completely CGI creature.
Yeah.
For a completely CGI creature, it looked really good.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, and the way it interacts with the environment too.
It doesn't look like a real bear, but they got the movement down, and they got, like, the, like, I don't know how to, like, describe it, the look of it, right? And so you can easily just, like, suspension of disbelief, yeah, that's a bear. You know, done.
Yep. Yeah, so I really appreciated the design of the bear, and I thought that was really good. I also loved how throughout this movie, the production designers constantly put bags of cocaine everywhere that people were just walking past and not noticing.
Like up in trees and behind cliffs and stuff.
Behind cliffs and yeah. And I just thought that was very funny and very hilarious. Yeah. So, yeah, let's see. I don't know that there's much else we can talk about without spoilers. Because the deaths, I think, are all spoilers.
Yeah. Everyone lives happily ever after.
Yes. I don't think that there's any. Do you have anything else in the non-spoiler section?
Yeah, I can talk about some stuff. I really like Cocaine Bear as what I've sort of been referring to as brutal comedy, where it's really funny. It's a total joy to watch, but also people are being dismembered on screen. You know.
Yep.
I was thinking of names of movies. You know, Cocaine Bear, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I had another one and I can't remember it. God damn it.
Yeah. The other thing I will say about this movie is it was marketed as a horror comedy. It's just more of a comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, there are horror elements, especially since they do jump scare you a few times. But it is more of a comedy, and the jump scares aren't like every 5 minutes. I mean, I think there are maybe like 3 in the entire movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I really appreciated the sound design as well. Because
Yes.
the soundtrack and the sound design.
Bear sounded amazing.
Yep, Bear sounded amazing. So I think all the sounds in this movie were pretty good. Anything else for non-spoilers?
Nope, I got nothing.
Okay. We're going to move on to spoilers.
Spoilers.
So if you don't want spoilers, click off now.
Everyone dies.
Yep, and you can check the time codes to when we start talking about Shazam.
Yes.
So have a nice day if you haven't seen Cocaine Bear. Or if you haven't seen Cocaine Bear and want to hear us spoil everything
Or if
for
you just don't care.
Yeah. If you just don't care, stay on. Anyway, the first thing I will talk about with spoilers is all the deaths.
Yes.
Because only like 6 people make it out alive of this movie, and there are like 20 total.
Yeah.
So I thought the bear like attacking people not because the bear wants to eat them, but just because the bear is high on cocaine and
doesn't
is raging,
know what it's doing.
Yeah, is just very hilarious to me. So like the first death we see is like that hiker at the beginning of the movie, his wife.
Yes. Yeah.
His wife dies, and she's just like she's got the very tropey trying to claw her way and her
Yeah.
getting dragged back by the bear.
And then she's like dragged into the other direction, then a foot hits him.
Yep.
Oh, it's amazing.
I thought that was very funny. Also the nature guy, I found really funny when they find the spot where the kids were, where the cocaine was, and the bear's there. And I love it when the nature guy pounds his face in the cocaine. He's high. He climbs up a tree, and the kid's in the other tree, and the bear's on the ground.
Yeah.
And then the kid goes, "At least bears can't climb trees." And then the nature guy looks at him and he goes, "Yes, the fuck they can."
Like, oh my god.
Especially black
line
bears.
delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah, black bears.
Especially black
bears
bears.
can climb.
Hmm. We have black bears in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, we do. I've eaten bear meat.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I haven't. I think the weirdest meat I've had is ostrich.
that is pretty weird.
Yeah, it is very weird. Anyway, I've never had a cocaine bear. Bear meat doused in cocaine.
Bear meat doused in cocaine.
No. You put the cocaine in
It's
one of
the
those.
breading?
Yeah. No. You put it in one of those those powdered sugar shakers,
Oh my god.
and you just get a bear patty. You shake it on top of the bear meat.
Yes, bear steak or cocaine.
Yeah. So I really thought that nature guy was hilarious, and
Yeah.
I loved the ranger in this. I loved it when she obviously has a very huge crush on this nature guy, and with the teenagers in there at the beginning of the movie, she's smoking, and he's like, "You smell very nice." And
Yeah. And
Yeah.
she blames the cigarette on the kid.
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah. So I think she's very hilarious. Two characters I think who gave an amazing performance were those 2 ambulance EMTs.
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I can't even remember their names, but they were both so hilarious.
Yeah, they were fantastic.
Yep.
And I loved how they went into it so casual, and then they just progressively it was more and more horrific until they were running.
Mm-hmm.
And the way the park ranger dies,
Mm-hmm.
tragic, horrific,
Flies
brutal.
out of the back of an ambulance and cracks her head on the
her
side.
face gets
yeah.
dragged.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh, skin crayon.
Yeah, and it's the same thing too when the ranger shoots that other teenager, and you see his head
Just-
actually blow open.
Just explode. Yeah.
And there's a part where you can see the inside of his skull.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
He was really brutal
It was very brutal,
and
and
very funny.
I really thought it was hilarious how the bear is just chasing this ambulance, just going at full speed.
Dude, bears can book it.
They can, yeah, they're really fast.
But so can ambulances, so I don't know. Suspension of disbelief. It was funny. Whatever.
It was very funny, and I think this movie does a very good job of, obviously these deaths are horrific, but it does a very good job of making you laugh at them,
Yes.
which I
Yeah.
really appreciated.
There wasn't really any death that I wasn't at least. I don't want to say happy about seeing, but like when Sid was his name.
Sid White.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Sid dies at the end, and the bears are like tearing him apart.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't like happy about it, but I was like, haha.
Yeah.
That's what you get, old man.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you.
Yeah. I loved Alden Ehrenreich and O'Shea Jackson's Jr. journey in this. When they
Yes.
first meet at that bar, and he's just eating.
He's just eating pasta.
Yeah. It's just
No sauce.
It's not even the alcohol that shows you that this man has gotten to the lowest point in his life. It's the fact that he's eating plain pasta.
Plain pasta.
Yep.
With nothing on it.
And then he rolls up his arm, and you see that he has a heart with John on it.
John! Instead of Joan.
Yeah, and I thought it was very funny.
John.
Yeah, I love how his character is just done with everything in this movie, and he's like,
Nothing phases him.
Yeah.
The bear like lays down on top of him. And he's just like, okay.
that was one of the funniest parts of this movie to me,
really
was when
was.
the bear just
Oh my word.
lands on top of him, and they like call the bear a he, and from under the bear he's like, it's a she, and then the teenager's like, how do you know? And he goes, because its vagina is pressed up against my ear.
Okay, the thing was that the bear's face
Was not in the correct position.
was facing was like the same direction as the guy's face.
Yeah.
So anatomically, no.
It didn't make any sense.
It didn't make any sense. If the bear was on him the other way around, it would have made much more sense.
Yeah. One of my biggest laughs in this movie was sort of at that scene where the bear lays down on top of him. But it's one of the funniest parts of that movie to me is when the cop is on top of the gazebo.
Yes.
And he sees the three like drug guys coming up, and they're in a standoff, and he's trying to figure out how to get down from the gazebo.
But he can't. And I think they ask him how he got up there, and he's like, oh, I climbed up a tree and jumped, but I hurt my hip. It's like, dude, what?
It's very funny to me how he's just stuck on top of this gazebo. And it's not like the bear isn't even in this scene yet.
Yeah.
And it's just very funny to me how he's stuck on top of this gazebo and he's trying to get down.
What I don't get, he's okay jumping from a tree onto a gazebo, but he's not okay jumping from a gazebo onto the ground.
Well, to me that made sense because after he's jumped from the tree onto the gazebo, he's not only injured his hip,
Yeah,
but he's in a standoff with a drug dealer.
that's true.
So he can't figure out like a way to get, because like if he jumps, unless he's like this master marksman, he's gonna have to like give up his position.
Yeah.
To also, I was just waiting for the cop to say, "I have the high ground."
It's over. I have the high ground.
Yeah, I thought that would have been really funny if he said that. He didn't end up saying it, but I thought it would have been really funny. I found the part where O'Shea Jackson Jr. gets his fingers blown off.
Oh my god.
That part to me was very funny because he gets two fingers blown off that aren't even like...
Yeah, they're not even next to each other, and
Yeah.
he's like, how does that even happen?
Yeah, the drug dealer guy, the teenager. I also appreciated how at the end of this movie, he gets away with a bag of cocaine.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. And like
Legend.
you see him get a ride from a sheep farmer, and he puts the duffel bag and gets in the cab.
In the back, and then
The truck starts going, and then he stops. He gets out and he gets the duffel bag out and he pulls it in front of him.
because there's cops ahead.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want them to see.
Yeah.
It's such a stupid little detail, but I love it.
Yeah, it was very funny.
Yeah. Great movie.
Yeah. I cannot for the life of me remember anybody's name in this movie except for the little boy. His name is Henry. He's the only one I can remember the name of. Because I can't remember.
I'm
anybody's
desperately trying to think of a single name.
Yeah.
Except for Sid.
name. Yeah, Sid White, of course. But, yeah. I just couldn't remember anybody's name. But I don't think it's not very important because that's not what the focus is. Although it does manage to be a very emotional movie, especially when like you see the mother going after her daughter.
Yeah.
And you see the parallel between the mother and her daughter and the bear and her cubs. Mm-hmm. It makes you feel for the bear at one point.
Yeah.
You feel emotion for this bear who is high on cocaine. It's just a very weird sentence to say out loud, and if a movie can make you do that, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I appreciated that. And I thought this movie was pretty good.
I'd give it a 9 or a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I would say
It's good.
It's definitely worth the price of admission.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I just really, really enjoyed this movie. Do you have any other comments about Cocaine Bear?
Not really. It's good. See it.
Yeah, I would recommend seeing it.
What you see is what you get. It says
Yes.
Cocaine Bear. There's a bear that does cocaine. Boom.
Yes.
Done.
The other
10 out of 10.
Yeah. The other thing I forgot to mention was the bear does not at all get snubbed in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of times when you have movies like this, the main thing that this movie is about will not get enough screen time. But the bear absolutely gets enough screen time.
Yes.
And it's just amazing. Yeah. So, you good to move on?
Yeah. Go for it.
Cool.
Is it Shazam time?
It is Shazam!
Shazam!
Yeah. So Shazam, Fury of the Gods.
Yes.
We also saw this together. Had a budget of $125 million.
Okay.
It had a domestic opening weekend of $30 million.
Ooh.
Uh-huh. And a total box office that I just checked, which is $35.6 million.
That's not great.
Yeah. DC, depending on whether or not more people go see this movie, which I don't think that they will.
They should. It's good.
This will be the first franchise to have 5 consecutive flops. Because it was this movie, if this movie flops.
Okay.
The last one before this was Black Adam, which
Yeah.
flopped. The Suicide Squad, which was good, but flopped.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman 84, which flopped. And then, oh, God, what was the one before that?
I'm trying to think of it.
Wonder Woman 84. Oh, I don't remember what it was, but it flopped as well.
Yeah, DC really isn't doing too hot. Hopefully,
The Flash can turn it around.
hopefully the Flash can turn it around. Hopefully James Gunn can set them straight.
Yep.
And teach them how to make funny movies.
Yep.
That's a joke. Shazam is very funny. The Suicide Squad was very funny.
Yep. But unfortunately, it does look like this movie is going to be a flop. And the one thing I will say is when I was looking online for like showings.
Wait, the Batman. Was that a
No,
flop?
no. It wasn't, but that wasn't DC EU.
Oh.
This is like exclusively DC.
Right, okay, gotcha.
So, yeah, also Zack Snyder's Justice League doesn't count because that was direct to streaming.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so the what was I saying? Oh, right. When I was looking online for showings of this movie, I noticed that there wasn't anybody booked for this movie. And Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania sold out.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why they had to add an extra showing, which is the one that we went to.
Yeah.
This movie didn't have people booked at all. So, unfortunately,
I think it had much worse advertising.
I think it did as well. And also, I would say that people, I think, have gotten more exhausted with how hit or miss DC has been.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had the Suicide Squad, which was good. You had the Batman, which was good. But all of the other projects that have been released have been misses.
They've, just not hit.
Yeah. So, Black Adam was, from what I heard, fine, but not amazing.
Mm.
So, it just was very not well received, I don't think, as far as the DCEU goes. Hopefully the Flash can turn it around, though. It seems like people are a lot more excited for that one.
Come on, Flash.
Yeah. We'll do our non-spoilers and then we'll do spoilers. The first thing I'll say is, most of the comedy in this movie I think works.
Yeah.
There are a couple of points though where I thought that they tried to make a joke and it didn't land as well as I thought it did.
Mm.
Also, one of the things I really appreciated about the first Shazam was that Billy Batson and actual Shazam. So Zachary Levi and whoever plays Tiny Shazam.
Tiny Shazam?
What's Billy Batson, the high school student.
Oh, I don't even remember.
So Zachary Levi and whoever plays the high school student.
Whoever plays the high school
In the first movie, they felt like the same character.
Yes.
In this one,
They're
Zachary...
very different.
They don't seem like the same character anymore. The high school student seems more emo.
Yeah.
And Shazam, Zachary Levi, seems like much more of a goofball.
Yeah. And he seems to, like... I feel like Zachary Levi has, like, down what the, like, studio is looking for with this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like when Tiny Shazam, I don't know, whoever plays Billy Batson just doesn't.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that because I really liked the movie and I did really like the performances, but something was missing. I don't know what was missing, but something.
Because anytime you see, we're just gonna call him Tiny Shazam from now on.
Tiny Shazam.
Anytime you see Tiny Shazam, he's very broken up about his family breaking up and the stress that's going on in his life, which is very understandable. Except every time you see Zachary Levi, he's cracking jokes left and right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like the same character anymore.
It feels like they tried to have Billy be the emotional core and Shazam be the comedy, and I think they needed to not. I think they needed to spread it out between both of them. Because if they were both cracking jokes, and if they were both also, like, sort of mourning their family in a way, then I think it would hit home a lot harder. But as it is, it just doesn't work.
I would agree with that. And another thing I really liked about this movie was whoever plays Freddy.
Yes! Oh my god!
He was really good.
Dude, he kicked ass.
Yeah, he was really good. I keep forgetting how to pronounce his name, but whoever plays the wizard.
The wizard? He's just called the wizard.
Dejum Hassanu? No, the actor's name.
The actor's
name. Yeah, his name is like Dejuman Husanu or something. He's like in everything.
He's in a lot of stuff.
He's in a lot of things.
Like, I kept going, like, where have I heard this voice before?
Yep.
And I genuinely don't know, because...
He played Korath the Pursuer in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Korath the Pursuer?
The machine guy.
Oh! The machine-headed freak.
Yep.
Yes.
He's been in so many different projects. And he's just a fantastic actor. I really loved him.
He knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. I think for the most part, the family is good. The child actors. I think also the people who play the Shazam style character family are pretty good for the most part. The running gag of not actually seeing any of the actual superheroes' faces, like Superman in the first one and then Wonder Woman in this one. That's still here. And the story for this, I think the villains, the Daughters of Atlas, are okay.
Yeah, they're decent.
They're not as interesting as the villains as I would have wanted them to.
They're very flat.
Yeah, they are very flat.
They, like... Oh, God, I can't really talk about it without going into spoilers, but the way that they act and, like, the way that they make decisions over the course of the movie doesn't make a whole ton of sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would also say that, for the most part, this movie doesn't rely too much on the first Shazam.
Yes.
It is very much based off of the plot from the first one, except they do a good job of explaining it in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So that you don't actually have to really watch the first one to understand this one.
So I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I've told you this before,
yeah.
but I did not finish the first Shazam.
Yeah.
I thought I did, but then I remembered that I watched it on a plane. And I started watching it. It got to the high school scene. I said to myself, this is cringe. And then I went and watched Cloverfield instead. But, not having finished Shazam, I was able to, just from the second one itself, I was able to, like, get all of it. You do not need to see the first Shazam to see the second Shazam.
Yeah.
Everything is explained.
Yeah, which is a nice thing. And most of the, like, interesting things in this movie are... Sorry, I don't know why I'm coughing.
We've been talking
They
a lot and
are...
you're not drinking any water.
Yes. They, most of the interesting things in this movie, the dragon is in the trailer, so it's not really a spoiler.
Dragon.
The dragon is interesting. They make a lot of jokes about it. For the most part, though, I don't really enjoy the CGI in this.
Yeah, I mean, it's functional. It works.
Yeah.
But it's not phenomenal. You know, this isn't going to be nominated for any awards. You know, it gets the job done.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think for the most part, everybody in this movie does a pretty good job of acting. I liked the the elements of family. Yes. I thought that was very, very important. I do think it could have done with a bit more of that, though. They could have leaned into the family aspect a little bit more, I think.
It felt like that's kind of what they were going for, but then, you know, somewhere in production, some stuff got cut, and it just kind of... It's missing a couple emotional beats that would have really tied it together.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. And also this, like, has been in production for 3 years.
Yeah. Because COVID.
Yeah, because COVID. But yeah, and, like, I think they could have leaned into that a little bit more. And I think that would have served them better, is leaning into the family aspect a little bit more. Yeah. The soundtrack, I really like the soundtrack.
Yes.
It's pretty good.
Music was good.
Yep, music was good.
Acting overall was pretty good.
Acting overall was pretty good. I think the directing in this is okay.
Yeah.
The writing's just okay as well. I mean, I don't think any elements of this movie are explicitly terrible.
Yeah.
I think they're more just most of the elements are mediocre.
I would like to clarify. I really liked this movie.
Yeah, I like this movie too. I would say that it is worth the price of admission.
Yes, I agree.
If you want a fun time, if you want to eat popcorn and sit down and watch a movie, go see Shazam.
Shazam.
I haven't seen Black Adam, but this seems like it would have been a better movie than Black Adam.
Yeah.
Also, Dwayne Johnson, who plays Black Adam, was offered a cameo for this movie, and he said no.
Understandable.
But, yeah.
I thought there was going to be something with Black Adam. At one point, no spoilers. At one point, Shazam's suit gets, like, a little scorched and, like, blackened. And so he has the lightning bolt and a, like, blackened suit, and I was like, oh, are they going to make a Black Adam joke here? And they just didn't. And I was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
It was right there.
Apparently there was another cutscene from this movie where it was going to show some superhero, either, I think, Batman or Superman, trying to fly into the city while the dome's activated, and just not being able to. But that was not in this movie, apparently.
It would have been funny.
It would have been funny.
It would have been really funny.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Right? Wow. Yeah. So, if you don't want any spoilers, click off now.
Everyone dies.
I'm
going to keep making that joke.
Yes. Everyone dies in all these movies if you stay for spoilers. So, yeah, we personally go and make sure that they're all dead.
Yeah. We actually have this really incredible superpower where we can enter other narratives and do things in them, and then that becomes, like, canon in that universe. Yep. So we actually purposefully?
Yeah.
We specifically went into the Shazam universe, and we killed everyone in their sleep.
Yep, everyone's dead.
I don't know why I'm still going with this joke.
I like it. I think it's funny.
Okay.
Yeah, so the first thing I'll say for spoilers is this movie is weirdly dark.
Yeah.
Like, there's one point where a teacher just commits suicide.
Well, okay, he's forced to commit suicide.
Yeah, but still, like, that's kind of dark, right?
Yeah.
He just walks off a building, and you can even hear the splat, like, on the ground.
And Freddy is, like, traumatized. It really could have done without that.
Yep. Also, wow, what's her name? Anastasia? That's not right. Anastasia's from 50 Shades of Grey. What's her name?
It's A something.
A something.
I think it's Ava. I'm not sure.
I think Ava sounds right. But yeah, the character of Ava is, I think, okay, but also I just feel terrible for Freddy because the only person who likes him is this 6,000-year-old god who's trying to use him to get something.
Yeah, but then, like, they actually start to like each other, so when she gets betrayed by her sisters, they become buddies.
And, like, there's a joke later about her being 6,000 years old.
Yeah, and Freddy being 17?
Yeah, he's, like, 17.
Yeah.
And they're like, what is it with our boys and older women? Because Zachary Levi's Billy Batson has a crush on I almost said Captain Marvel on Wonder Woman. has a crush on Wonder Woman,
which is understandable.
Yeah, which is understandable. I mean, Gal Gadot is very
the
very
face
attractive.
you just made.
Very attractive, I think, Gal Gadot.
Yes.
Also, fun fact: Gal Gadot was in the Israeli Armed Forces for 2 years. She was an Israeli commando.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because she's from Israel and they have mandatory military service.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So she was an Israeli commando for 2 years. And that's another thing we can talk about very quickly is the appearance of Wonder Woman. She does appear in this movie twice. The first time is when Billy Batson is dreaming and you don't actually see Wonder Woman's face.
And I thought that was going to be just like a joke in the movie because they didn't use Gal Gadot for that scene.
No, they did.
But in the credits, there was somebody who it was something about like stand-in or something.
Yeah, so basically how this worked is Gal Gadot never appeared with any of the other actors because she couldn't make it to Atlanta. Gotcha. They filmed her separately in a different place, recording all of her lines, and they just edited the two pieces of footage together.
Okay.
So there was a stand-in, but the stand-in was when they were having all the other actors.
Oh, so the stand-in wasn't actually filmed.
No. The stand-in wasn't actually filmed.
She was there as like a placeholder.
Yes, because Gal Gadot couldn't actually make it to where they were filming things.
I understand now.
Yeah. I think it's really funny when Billy Batson is having the dream and you can't see Wonder Woman's head, and then it just pans up and she becomes a wizard. This is a wizard trying to give him a message. That part was really funny.
That was hilarious. I loved it.
I really did not like the ending when like Billy's dead because I thought like Billy died. This is very emotional. I'm glad because the DCE is ending. You don't really have any reason to keep him around anymore. Yeah. But then Wonder Woman just shows up, gives the power of the staff back, and Billy Batson is back.
Yeah. The movie ends like 4 times.
Yeah.
Like, okay, he dies. That's tragic. End there. Okay? Then he's buried. They have a funeral scene. End there. Then he's revived. Everyone gets their powers back. End there. And then they're all sitting around a dinner table.
Yep.
And it finally ends. And it's like, why?
Yeah. So I really genuinely wish that Billy Batson had stayed dead.
I'd like to reiterate, I like this movie. I like it a lot. Yeah. I just have problems with it.
Yes. I too liked this movie, but also do have problems with it. There's this part of the movie where Helen Mirren and the two sisters, Ava and the Asian one.
The Asian one?
The Asian one. I can't remember anybody's name in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so bad with names, dude.
Helen Mirren, Ava, and the Asian one are all talking.
One.
Yeah, the evil one. And the Asian one is like saying, let's take over Earth, and then Helen Mirren's like, no, we said we weren't going to take over Earth. And then that made me really confused because I thought Helen Mirren was supposed to be a villain.
Yeah.
And then they did that, and I was like, wait, is she good?
I thought they were, like, trying to take over Earth.
Yeah.
I thought that was their whole shtick from the beginning.
Yeah, that's what I thought,
and
too.
then, like, halfway through, it's revealed that, no, they're just trying to get the apple.
Because they murder, like, 40 people at the beginning of this movie.
They never mentioned the apple before she grabbed it.
Yeah.
Which, like, why?
I don't know.
What?
This movie is very, like, you only find out what the plot is halfway through the movie. And
Yeah.
it doesn't really make any sense.
I'd like to
Yes.
I'd like to reiterate, I like this movie. I just have problems with it.
Yeah. I also thought Helen Mirren was kind of underused as a character. Or as an actress. Because she's a really good actress, Helen Mirren.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that she got enough to do in this movie. But yeah, and what's another? I had another thing that I was gonna say, but I don't remember what it was anymore.
The whole people losing their powers and then getting them back and then losing them again. I didn't like that too much. I think the losing powers as a risk to conflict is good. I think, like, everyone losing their powers and then a couple of people getting them back and then everyone losing them again. It made the, like, risk of the fight feel so, like, contrived, basically. Because, like, at one point, Freddy gets his powers back, and then minutes later loses them again.
Yep.
Like, not even, like, not even 15 minutes. Like, less than 10 minutes later, he loses them again. And it's like, why did you give it back to him in the first place?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also at the end, with the big wooden dragon, the joke about the dragon being wood and having fire powers, I thought was kind of funny. I mean, it wasn't hilarious, but also I did not like the design of the unicorn or the minotaur,
The unicorn.
or the cyclops, or the fury, and the lion scorpion.
Manticore.
Yeah, Manticore. Yes. So, like, I forgot that... I was trying to remember what the Manticore was called. Because, like, I saw the four creatures, and I was like, that's a Fury. That's a Cyclops.
Well, Harpy.
Yeah, the Harpy. That's a...
Sorry.
Harpy. Cyclops. Cyclops. Minotaur. I was like, that lion scorpion has a name, and I don't remember what it is. But, yeah. Also... A thing that made me laugh that I didn't really think would was the Skittles joke.
The Skittles joke. Best product placement in any movie ever. Like, okay, in Tomorrowland, I'm pulling something out. In Tomorrowland, when they time travel or whatever, they immediately, like, drink a Coke afterwards because they're like, oh, you know, you got to get your energy back. Drink this Coke. Terrible. I hated it. Worst product placement ever. Feeding Skittles to an evil unicorn to fight monsters with it? Fantastic.
Yeah.
I loved it. Oh my god.
And when she, like, throws the Skittles at the unicorn, she goes, taste the rainbow.
And then she says it again later on when the unicorn's, like, killing something. She says, taste the rainbow, motherfucker, but it's cut off, so she doesn't actually say it.
Yeah.
It's like, taste the rainbow, mother...
Yeah, and I thought that was very hilarious. I didn't think a joke about Skittles would make me laugh that much, but it did.
It was good. A lot of the jokes were amazing.
The jokes either land or they feel weird. But I think for the most part they land.
They really landed most of the time. The joke with oh god, what was his name?
Which guy?
The Latino kid.
Oh,
Pedro. Yes. The joke where they're like, guys, we have a secret to tell you, and then they all, like, we're superheroes, and then he says, I'm gay. The entire theater was laughing at that, and
I thought that was
it
a very
hit
funny
so
joke
hard.
as well.
That is the kind of gay jokes I like to see in media.
Yeah, that was very funny. And
Yes.
I did laugh pretty well at that joke. For the most part, the jokes land in this. There's also another joke that they make about like Shazam not knowing what his superhero name is, and people like saying, "Oh, your name should be Captain Marvel," which was a very funny copyright joke to how Shazam used to be called Captain Marvel before Marvel sued them
Yeah.
because Captain Marvel. And so I thought that was very funny. Oh yeah, and that speaking of the jokes, they make an Avengers joke later when they're talking about the Justice Society. I guess we'll talk about the post-credit scenes now.
Yeah, I guess.
So the first post-credit scene is the two people from Peacemaker.
Yep.
They come up and they're talking about Waller and the Justice Society. And they go up to Shazam and they're like, hey, do you want to join the Justice? And Shazam is like, yes, absolutely. Is that the one with Wonder Woman? I love it how, like...
He's so desperate.
Yeah.
It's great.
The only reason that Shazam wants to join a superhero team is because he's horny.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is very funny. Also, I found it kind of weird why Waller and the Peacemaker team were running the Justice Society.
I don't know what the Justice Society is.
It's like vigilantes, but Justice League. So it's not the Justice League, but it's like the Justice League. But,
Okay.
Because technically the Justice League is called the Justice League of America, and the Justice Society is like a different group of people who are justice focused.
Justice themed.
But it's more of a superhero thing, like the Justice League is, and not like a covert ops Suicide Squad thing. So I don't know why Waller would be running it, but I heard this thing apparently where they were going to initially get a couple of members of the Justice Society to go and ask him. It's unclear who those members were, but they were originally, the plan was supposed to be get a couple members of the Justice Society to ask them, but they couldn't get it together in time, so they had to use the Peacemaker guys and Waller, who doesn't appear but gets a mention. Yeah, so I don't know, it just felt very weird, but I think the Avengers joke was funny to me.
Yeah.
And the thing about, like, why do you have the Justice League and the Justice Society? Shouldn't you only have one thing called the Justice? Maybe call us the League of Avengers or something.
League of Avengers, yeah.
That was very funny to me.
Can we talk about the other post-credit scene now?
Oh, the one with the worm?
The one with the worm?
So there's a second post-credit scene at the end of the movie. And
Oh my god.
It's the villain from the first movie.
Why?
Who has now grown a beard and
He's in prison.
sitting in his cell. Yeah. And this worm, this
This
talking worm appears.
Talking worm.
Yes.
He has like a microchip stuck on his stomach.
Yep.
And apparently he's a doctor who's like...
Yeah, so I
He's-
looked it up. His name is Mr. Mind.
Mr. Mind.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Pokemon.
Yeah. But he's voiced by David Sandberg.
Yeah. But, like, why? Why did they include... Why?
I don't know. This post-credit scene obviously isn't going anywhere, especially since the universe is going to be reset.
I hope it's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere.
Why a talking worm?
Yeah. It's the villain from the first movie. He's sitting in his jail cell.
Yeah.
He's got a picture of Shazam drawn on his jail cell wall.
The rest of his
big
wall is
axe.
covered in like arcane runes.
Yeah. And he's got this big beard.
Yeah.
And actually, initially, when I saw because it pans from the door of the jail over the drawing of Shazam with the X through his eyes and over to his bald head. And initially I thought, oh, this is Dwayne Johnson. They did get him to cameo. And then it turns out it's not Dwayne Johnson. I'm like, oh, I guess they really didn't get him to cameo.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't him. It was just the guy from the first movie. And it took me a bit to recognize him, too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Especially because I didn't finish it.
Yeah. It
And
just...
then the worm shows up.
And then the worm shows up. And I also thought it was...
And they...
The thing I found hilarious about that post-credit scene was the fact that this guy is sitting in jail and the worm goes, no, I'm sorry, I'm going to let you out, but not yet. Wait here, I'll be back. And then the guy's like, no, don't go. And the worm just goes away. Yeah, that part
And he's
I found
like,
really funny.
It's apparently been like 2 years or something, and he's like,
Yeah, they outright say it's been 2 years.
I'm a worm. Getting around is very slow.
Mhm.
And it's like, I mean, yeah. Aren't you supposed to be a supervillain or something? Make a mech suit for your
Yeah.
worm. I don't know, man.
It was...
Why worm?
Why worm?
Why worm?
Why worm? But yeah, so those were the post-credit scenes for this movie. They were both funny in their own manners, but I don't think... The first one...
First one was good.
The first one was good,
It
and
was a self-contained joke,
I think those jokes landed.
and they were great.
The second one was supposed to be very serious and
It's supposed to be teasing the next movie.
yeah, but I think it ended up
Which
just
isn't
being
happening.
yeah, which isn't happening and probably won't happen. I just found that post-credit scene funny, but not for the reasons that they intended. I found it funny because the worm was like, "Wait here."
It's funny because it's absurd.
Yeah, it's just a worm.
He's just a worm.
It's just a worm.
He's literally like an inchworm that can talk.
Yeah. So that was that is obviously not going to go anywhere, especially with the universe being reset. That brings me to the other thing that I had on my thing here about Shazam was whether we think Zachary Levi will stay on as Shazam for the new DCU.
I'd love him to. I think he does a great job.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why he wouldn't stay around. As far as I know, Zachary Levi has no issues with James Gunn, or the other way around. I think Zachary Levi does a fine job of playing Billy Batson. The only thing that you wouldn't be able to have is the same actor who plays Baby Shazam.
Baby Shazam.
He's not just for clarification, he is not a baby in this movie. He's like 18 years old.
Yeah,
or almost 18.
He's almost 18.
Yeah, but he's not an actual baby. But
we should refer to them as Shazam and Billy.
Yeah, Shazam and Billy. So Bill, the only thing you wouldn't be able to have is the actor who plays Billy.
Yeah.
Coming back. You could have Shazam staying on as playing, Zachary Levi staying on as playing Shazam.
Yeah, but
so I don't see any reason why he couldn't return. Although, looking at what DC has planned for the DCU, it doesn't seem like Shazam would really fit into any of that.
Yeah, which kind of sucks, because I like Shazam.
Yeah, he's a funny character. But I think you give this 5-6 years and then you can reintroduce Shazam.
Yeah.
Especially with all the other DC projects happening. So, yeah. I mean, you've got... Because after this is going to be The Flash, and then you got Blue Beetle, and then Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Why are they making another Aquaman movie?
I mean, they have to release it. They can't cancel it. It was made before the whole DCU thing.
I know.
And after the whole Amber Heard thing.
God. DC is in such a bad place right now.
Hopefully, James.
I really hope they make a comeback. Yeah. I want to see DC just, go ham.
Yeah. So, that's, yeah.
Show us what Marvel could be. Please.
Yeah. So, yeah. Any last thoughts on Shazam?
I have to talk about the worm. This is a tiny little thing. The whole joke about Freddy being Captain Every Power. I hate that.
Yeah, Captain Every Power really doesn't sound like a very good name.
Yeah,
and especially even as a joke, it doesn't sound as a good name.
Yeah, it's like, why?
Oh, I did appreciate...
I get that he wants to be powerful and he wants to be cool, and so he comes up with this name, but, I think it's doing him a disservice, the character a disservice, by making him make up this terrible name. Mm-hmm. Come up with something better, please.
Yeah. So, there's one more thing I appreciate about this movie, and that is the two actors who play the youngest girl, the Skittles girl.
Yes.
The one who plays the child, and then the grown adult,
Shazamified version.
The Shazamified little girl. Yeah. So, I appreciated both of those actors. I thought both of them were very good.
Oh, yeah, they did great.
But yeah.
Especially, an adult playing a kid who is transformed into an adult. Right. I think she did an amazing job.
Yeah. So, yeah, I thought they were amazing. Most of the actors who played the kids and the adults are amazing, although most of them don't get very much to do.
Yeah.
What's her name?
I thought of another gripe I had.
The oldest girl, Megan?
Mm-hmm.
Is that her name? I really enjoyed the joke about her being drunk.
Going to the eye doctor? Yeah.
I'm
going to use that as slang now.
The eye doctor.
I'm gonna go to the eye doctor tonight.
Yeah.
You want to come?
You said you had one more gripe. What was it?
What? Oh yeah, I one more gripe. Yeah. A lot of the time, the superpowered characters who have super speed and can fly at super speeds are running around at normal speed.
Yeah.
Like from one room to another, they just jog.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? You can practically teleport there.
Yeah.
It's a tiny gripe, whatever. I would like to reiterate. I like this movie. It's good.
Yeah.
It's worth the price of admission, like $15 or whatever.
I would say it's worth the price of admission too. I don't know if it would be worth the price of admission twice, but I think it is once.
Yes.
Yeah. If you want to go see this movie, it's a very good popcorn movie to just sit down and watch.
Go see it.
Yeah.
Drink an icy.
Yeah.
Slurpee.
Which I still haven't tried, by the way.
You haven't?
No,
Oh my god.
It is carbonated, isn't it? Because it's made from Fanta?
Yes, but it's not like, ouch, oof, my tongue carbonated. It's like, I can taste the carbonic acid in this.
Oh, okay. Okay. So is that it for Shazam?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Let's move on to the watch list. What have you been watching?
What have I been watching?
Yeah.
I've been watching The Last of Us.
Oh yes, that show I have to see still.
It's very good. Pretty much every episode has a emotional gut punch, and there's a lot of little details that I appreciate. I haven't played the games. I've heard that people who play the games love the show. I love the show because of tiny little things like, Joel has really good trigger discipline, unless he's like in a fight. He keeps his finger off the trigger, which I love. I love that in movies. I hate it when people constantly have their finger on the trigger because you're gonna fucking shoot someone. Yeah, it's good. Watch it.
Yeah, I still gotta add that to my watch list. Anything else?
How to Blow Up a Pipeline.
Oh yes, the trailer. Yeah.
That's gonna be great.
Yeah. So we'll both see that next month.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have quite a few things that I have watched this month.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
You watched all the Scream movies.
I did watch all the Scream movies. So Scream, Scream 2,
gosh.
Scream 3, Scream 4, Scream 5, and Scream 6.
No way.
And I really love these movies. 3 wasn't very good. I kind of didn't like 4 either. But for the most part, these are pretty good movies. And I find it really funny that they have an in-universe movie called Stab that is basically Scream, but in-universe. And to me, that's very hilarious.
It's great, like, metatextual storytelling.
They have so much meta stuff in this, and usually stuff like that doesn't work. But it's very funny, and I love how they just explain to you the plot of the movie, what's going to happen at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
But they find some way to turn it around and still make it good.
Yeah.
And they explain to you what's going to happen. And still, when it happens, you're like, oh, I didn't expect that to happen. Even though they tell you directly, like in the first movie, they say, oh, the characters who have sex are going to die. The characters have sex, they get murdered.
Yeah.
And it's still, like, very... I just find it very funny. And there's also something about, like, Ghostface being a human and not, like, this super-powered monster or
that is
dark
something
force.
like.
It's just a psycho.
It's just a dude in a black robe and a mask.
Yeah. I really
Stabbing people.
loved Courtney Cox's Gale Weathers.
Mm-hmm.
She is a very good actor. There are a couple big names who play side characters in these movies.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Warburton is in the third movie. He plays a bodyguard. Anthony Anderson, a comedian, plays a cop in, I think, the fourth one. And, there are just a couple of...
Jenna Ortega was in the newest one, right?
Yep, 5 and 6.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, she is really good as well.
Yeah.
I also...
She's good in general.
Yes, she is good.
Stan Jenna Ortega.
Yes. Jenna Ortega is amazing, and I really just like all of the Scream movies for the most part. 3 was kind of so is 4, but I mean 1, 2, 5, and 6 are all, I think, pretty good. So yeah, if you have time to watch them, watch them. I also started watching the Dan Schneiderverse, so that's the universe with iCarly. So I ended up finishing iCarly. I watched Victorious, I watched Sam and Cat,
Mm-hmm.
and then I watched the iCarly reboot. And iCarly was fine, Victorious was fine, Sam and Cat was terrible,
Yeah,
and
I
I
heard.
really don't like this iCarly remake because the remake, they have literally like stuck one of those pipettes inside of the show and sucked out all of the color.
Oh my
Everything
God,
in
really?
this movie is gray and white and brown and beige.
You started saying pipette, and I was like, where is he going with this? But no, that makes sense.
They sucked out, and like one of the very big appeals of the first the iCarly show was the fact that like Spencer was this crazy sculptor dude who just sculpted everything, and he was crazy with his socks and his shirts. But in this new one, he's like very calm, and he wears button-ups, and he doesn't make as many jokes as he used to, and I don't like it.
But why?
Also, the actors Miranda Cosgrove and Nathan Kress look like children still, and it's very hard to try and think of them as adults. They look like children. They have not. They
think-
have. Yeah.
They might be dressed up to look like children to sort of emulate how they looked in the
Nathan
old show.
Kress has a beard in
Oh,
the first season.
I don't know. I haven't seen
Yeah.
any of it.
Yeah.
I've never seen iCarly.
One of the things I really appreciate about this universe is all of the meta jokes about copyright and like public domain stuff and stuff like that. Because especially with all the knockoff products they have, like the Pear phones, Skybucks, Galaxy Wars, Scarlet's Web.
Yeah.
All of the-
Scarlet's Web.
All of the knockoff things that they have in this movie are very, very funny. But there's also like a question about continuity because a couple of characters from Drake and Josh appear in this universe.
Hmm.
But Drake and Josh is stated in this universe as being an in-universe TV show.
What?
And
Okay.
Crazy Steve
They're living in the Matrix.
Yeah, Crazy Steve from Drake and Josh
Hmm.
is played by Jerry Trainer, the same guy who plays Spencer in iCarly.
Okay.
He shows up, voiced by Jerry Trainer, in the last episode of Sam and Cat.
Why though?
I don't know, but he does, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Also, Sam and Cat, the reason I didn't like it was because, I mean, Cat, yes, is a fun character because she's really dumb. But they put another character in this show who is dumber than Cat.
Hmm.
He's like this actor, his name's Goomer, and he's just dumb.
Yeah.
And it's too
Like
much
with the name
dumbness.
Goomer, how smart can you get?
That's a very good question, and I don't know. There's a reason that this show only lasted one season.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, and I looked it up. Apparently, 2 of the episodes that were shot didn't even air
Oh.
because this show is just terrible. But yeah, I also started watching Zoe 101, which is also produced by Dan Snyder. It's like from way back when the aspect ratio was different. So when I'm watching on my phone, it's only like a small rectangle. But yeah, and
Oh, man.
yeah. So a couple of other things I've been watching. I watched this movie called Mako, or Mako. Yes, it's a movie about a shark. It's an Arabic.
Like a mako shark?
Yeah, it's an Arabic movie about a shark.
Gotcha.
Mako shark. It's the first it's the first foreign film I've seen in a while. It is fine for the most part. It did get kind of emotional towards the end, because at the end, these 2 brothers who are with the crew that are going down to like see this ship, they're fighting, and like one of them like pushes him up against the wall, and he doesn't realize that he has pushed him into a metal spear.
Oh.
It's like sticking out, or like a metal rod that's sticking out from the wall, and he sees blood, and he's like, "What have I done?" It's surprisingly,
I accidentally kill my brother.
yeah. At the end, it's very emotional. But the rest of the film's just like okay. It's not great, but I watched that. I also kept watching The Bad Batch.
Hmm.
So I've been keeping up with that. It is amazing. I love The Bad Batch. Finale is going to come out on Wednesday. 2-part finale. It's great.
Awesome.
We will maybe talk about Bad Batch next month, maybe.
We'll
see.
We'll see. I haven't seen it.
We'll see. I've also been keeping up watching Blue Bloods, The Cop Show, The Goldbergs, and Grownish, which are APC comedies, and then 911 and 911 Lone Star, which are Texas and California. Yeah. I also saw 2 documentaries. One was Voices Rising, The Music of Wakanda Forever, which is a very, very good docuseries. It's all about the making of how Ludwig Göransson and Ryan Coogler put together music from the cultures of Nigeria and Mexico and infused it into the movie, and the songs are just so beautiful, and all of the artists came together. It's
Absolutely.
just so amazing.
The music in that movie was phenomenal.
Yeah, so it's divided into 3 episodes. One is Nigeria, one is Mexico, and one is London, where they put the music from Mexico and Nigeria together with the orchestra. So I would definitely recommend checking that out. That's on Disney Plus. And then the other one was called Empower. It's a series about the females of Marvel.
Okay.
So there are 4 episodes. The first one is The Women of Black Panther. The second one is Captain Marvel. The third one is Scarlet Witch. And the fourth one is Gamora.
Gotcha.
Yep. So those were all pretty interesting for the most part. They interview a lot of the female actresses and how it's changed their lives, and they also bring in fans and talk to some fans about how the female superheroes have given them people to look up to and how they have appreciated.
Good stuff.
The intro is set to a song by Sia. I forgot what it.
Sia?
Yeah, I forgot what the song is called or even how it goes now. But yeah, and it was a pretty good docuseries. I also finished reading It.
Oh,
I finally finished it. Yes, I finally finished reading it. And Stephen King apparently wrote this when he was very high on cocaine. But man, this book is beautifully written. Mm-hmm. It is so good, and it tells a story from two different time points, 27 years apart, because that's how much it is separated, right? So it's in 2 different time periods when the kids are kids and the kids are adults, and it jumps back and forth, and that's really hard to do, but he does it very well. And it's beautifully written, and I love the horror elements and Pennywise and all of the gross stuff that's in this. It's just, wow. It's amazing. So I'm thinking I'll read more of Stephen King's books because I really liked reading it.
All right.
Yeah. And then I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once, which was pretty good. I saw that at the theater because they brought it back because it won 7 Oscars.
Understandable.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Yep. So that was good. And then I watched Avatar this morning, the first one, which was a lot better than I remember it being. I don't know. I really liked it. But yeah. Anyway, that is it for the watch list. One thing, the last thing that we'll talk about before we sign off for this month will be the AMC Stubs A-List program and my thoughts on it because I did recently get it. So basically, this program gives you, it allows you to see 3 movies a week for free.
Yeah.
Any 3 movies you want a week for free. And this movie has, or sorry, not this movie. This program has several plans that you can choose from when you when you sign up. It does, when you sign up, lock you into a 3-month commitment. So that's whatever plan you choose, billed monthly. The one thing that I was kind of upset about, though, is the 3 plans are $20, $22, and $25.
Those are such similar prices.
Yes, that I really appreciated. That it was just a $5 difference between the lowest one and the highest one. Mm-hmm. But the reason that they're separated is the difference between the plans is how many states you can use that in.
What?
Yeah. So basically, the first plan is like only, I think, like 38 states, and then it's 45 states, and then it's all 50 states.
Why?
I don't know, but it's, the thing I found weird was if I had chosen the lowest plan, I wouldn't have been able to use my AMC because one of the states that it excludes is Washington.
Wait, what? It doesn't automatically include the state that we're in.
No. So like I understand.
I'm gonna throw
that,
hands.
It excludes Washington, Oregon, California, Florida, New York, and a couple of other like bigger states, which like I guess makes sense, but
Like high population centers?
I guess I don't
They're
know.
trying to get
It's-
more money from like people who are gonna use it the most.
Yeah, it's.
Cringe.
But I mean, I don't mind paying 25 versus 20.
Yeah.
So, I think that was good. Here are a list of benefits that you get if you sign up for AMC's A-List. You get the 3 movies, obviously. And then you also get all the benefits of Premiere, which are free upgrades on popcorn and fountain drinks, priority lanes at box office and concessions, waived online ticketing fees, which is like $4, which is ridiculous, discount Tuesdays, free large popcorn refills, $5 rewards for every 5,000 points. And like they advertise this as the points filling up fast. And I was like, well, not really. But I mean, these points actually do rack up fast because over the last 2 weeks, I've gone from 2,000 to like 7,000.
We should specify that we're not sponsored.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by
God, I
AMC.
wish.
Yeah, there are a few drawbacks, which I will talk about. You get a free birthday gift, which is free large popcorn and a free fountain drink. You get to use their member Wi-Fi, and you get to have exclusive offers and screenings and everything else. So it's for $25 a month. It's pretty good. The main drawback that I have about this is that the week for most people resets on midnight on Saturday. So Sunday, the week starts, the week ends on Saturday.
Yeah.
But for AMC, the week ends on Thursday and resets on Friday. So
Yeah.
whereas if it ended on Saturday and started on Sunday, you could use your 3 on Friday and Saturday and then do 3 on Sunday. And I guess if you have Monday off, you could do it on Monday. But this way, you only get to see 3 on the weekends instead of 6. And I mean, 6 movies is a lot.
I think for the normal American, like a weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, a movie per weekend is like reasonable. Not everyone is you, so
Yes.
I don't think most people could handle 6 movies in a weekend.
I would agree with that.
My eyes would glaze over.
Yeah.
I'd die.
So yes, that is how they structure their weekly structure. The other thing is that you cannot make reservations at the same like less than 2 hours apart. So the screenings have to be at least 2 hours apart for you to make reservations. And you can't also like this is a you plan, this isn't your family plan. So the ticket only works for you. You can't book like 2 for the same showing, and then go with someone else. Which
They should add a family plan.
they should add a family plan because I feel like that would entice a lot more people to get it.
Yeah.
And I mean, especially in an environment where cinema was really hit hard by COVID, I feel like that would really work for them. So yeah, for $25 a month, it's pretty good and like
It's sounding pretty worth it to me. I'm
Yeah.
probably going to get it.
yeah. And they also have this thing called A-List Encourage where you can like book tickets online with another person who also has A-List, which is a pretty nice thing to perk. And yeah, so they lock you immediately into a 3-month commitment. So if you sign up, you have to be willing to pay $60 over the next 3 months. At least 60 if you choose the lowest plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for the most part, I really do like this. does have a few drawbacks, but I think those drawbacks are very minor compared to the benefits that you're getting from this program. So yeah, I would really recommend anyone getting it, and it pays for itself in 2 visits, because a regular movie ticket is what, $15. So you go to see 2 movies, you've already spent $30, and AMC A-List is at max $25 a month, which is really nice because you go to see 2 movies a month, pays for itself.
Yeah.
And like finding 4 hours out of a month is really not that hard.
It's really not.
Yeah. So, I mean, and you get to see 3 movies a week, which is already a lot more than people go. So, I mean, I would say it's worth it. AMC, if you want to sponsor us, reach out. We would love to talk more positively about your products.
If any other movie places would like to sponsor us,
yes,
we can always stop talking about AMC.
This is true. If you want to sponsor us and give us free popcorn or drinks, or
I'll take free drinks. I would appreciate that.
Yes, or free movie passes.
That too.
Really nice. Oh yeah, the other thing was this A-List program came out after MoviePass died. I don't remember. I don't know if you remember MoviePass.
I don't think I ever heard about MoviePass.
So MoviePass basically was you give this company $10 a month and you go to see as many movies as you want.
Yeah.
And
which seems like a bad business deal.
It is a bad business. It's a bad business structure because it fell apart.
Yeah.
And it died. It got bankrupt. So that left a power vacuum for other movie companies to do their own MoviePass program. So that's when A-List really came out.
Yeah. This seems much more reasonable.
It is much more reasonable, and especially like a big chain like AMC can afford to do this. And I mean, Regal does this too. Although I'm not really sure what Regal's prices are. So, yeah, and I would just recommend it if you go to see at least 2 movies a month, which I think most people do. I would recommend getting it. But yeah. Anyway, I think that is it. Anything else?
I got nothing.
Okay. So if you want to...
Unless I'm allowed to talk about podcasts.
I mean, do you have something you want to mention?
Not right now. Okay. I didn't prepare anything.
Okay, cool.
Maybe next episode.
Yeah. So next month we're going to be looking at How to Blow Up a Pipeline and Dungeons and Dragons on our month.
Dragons! Let's go!
Yep.
Oh, by the way, I heard they released the character sheets for the characters.
Oh, yes.
Which I'm super psyched about. And the one guy that we were questioning what his class was, he is in fact a sorcerer.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Sorry.
Interesting.
I love D&D.
Yeah, I love D&D too. I played this campaign for, I started when I, just got into high school. Mm-hmm. I finished at the end of high school. It was a really emotional campaign.
Damn,
I've been doing that campaign for 4 years. And, just a shout out, Joseph, if you're listening, you are the best DM I've ever had. So thank you for that very emotional 4 years. But yeah, and I love D&D too. And this is just going to be a really fun movie to watch, I think.
I'm going to have D&D this weekend, first time in 5 weeks because we've had scheduling conflicts.
Yep. Oh, yes.
Classic
and,
D&D.
They actually screened D&D on Sunday because the studio was just so proud of itself that it screened it for one day, and the reviews are looking pretty good. So this should be a really amazing movie.
Cannot wait to see it.
Yep. So next month we'll be doing Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves and How to Blow Up a Pipeline. Yes. I also might see the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I
kind of want to see it.
Yeah, and we'll make fun of Chris Pratt, probably.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So yeah. Anyway, thank you all for listening. If you want to reach us at the show, we are on Twitter and Instagram at SupervisorsPod, Script Supervisors Pod. Mm-hmm. You can also reach us. Send us a letter on Gmail.
Why?
scriptsupervisorspod@gmail.com. If you want to reach us at the show, send us your thoughts about things that you want to hear us talk about or reviews about the things that we already have talked about. This podcast is available on Spotify and YouTube, but I suppose if you're listening to it on one of those platforms.
Hello.
Yes, if you're on YouTube, Smash that like button.
Smash that like button.
Smash
Like
that
and
like
subscribe.
Ring that notification bell.
Comment your favorite movie. I don't know.
Comment, yeah. Comment your thoughts on Cocaine Bear and Shazam.
What's your favorite drug? What should we feed to this raccoon? We don't have a raccoon.
We don't have a raccoon.
I wish we had a raccoon.
Cocaine raccoon?
Meth raccoon.
Meth raccoon.
Meth raccoon.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's all I got.
Yeah. Big thank you to PLU and Laser
Yes,
for
Loot Air Student Radio.
Yes, for letting us use their studio to record the